Well, things have gotten a lot more interesting over the last 24 hours when it comes to next-gen Xbox systems. That's right, we can actually say systems now because Microsoft themselves have leaked out the existence of the Xbox Series S. Now, we've talked about Lockhart for a while. Like I said, Newswave yesterday, we went over all of that and how this got out there, but some controllers leaked out, and we even have full unboxings of them now. In fact, it's really funny, the YouTube account that posted an unboxing and then somewhat of a comparison versus all types of other controllers like the Switch Pro controller, the original Xbox One controller, I believe the Elite V2 controller. It is called Don't Sue Me Please or something, yeah, on YouTube. So obviously people know that they have items now that weren't supposed to get out there. These, I guess, were just in like the back of a Best Buy waiting for street date, and there have been times where we would get items way in advance. Specifically, it would be games. We get them like a week or two in advance. It sounds like for some reason Best Buy had these controllers like 3 months in advance. It's very strange to hear this, that they've had it for that long, specifically in like the big box retail stores. But there's a few things to take away from here because we may now know even when the next generation Xbox or Xbox is coming out, or at least a very good idea now based on those controllers. I think people may have got a little too carried away with it because now they are registering these controllers to Microsoft, which probably sets off some red flags internally at Microsoft. But we'll go over what happened here and possibly when the Xbox Series X could be launching. Guys, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you like it down below and get subscribed if you're trying to keep tuned into all of this next-gen news that is coming up. I think August is going to get pretty fun, I will say. It seems like it's going to be the back half of August, though, because we're almost already halfway through August now. So keep that in mind, though. Some game reveals and apparently a system reveal with the Xbox Series S. So this appears to be the warranty information that when registered was kicked back. I believe Microsoft's Xbox One controllers, not really talking about the Elite controller necessarily, but like if you go and just buy an Xbox One controller, I believe it's a 90-day warranty. I've heard some say that there's like a 1-year limited warranty that you can call in, and if you kind of nudge a little bit or push a little more, that they will just magically bring up. But it does appear that it's advertised as 90 days. However, when the controller, the newer one, was registered, it kicked back a date of it expiring with the warranty covering ending November 5th, 2021. Okay, so that's kind of, I guess, where some people were thinking the Xbox Series X would launch anyway in the first half of November, but that would be the first week of November. Now, the 5th going into the 6th is a Thursday going into a Friday. The warranty might start on like Thursday, since some places might just put it out at midnight if it's a 24-hour shop. So they're like, oh, just the warranty will start on the 5th. That very well could be when the controller was set to come out, as in Microsoft's system currently. If you register one of these, it's going to go to its release date and say, okay, yeah, 90 days from now, or I guess maybe a year. Are they doing a year now? It might be on the warranties. That's when it'll start and then end. We'll just add a year onto that. November 5th or November 6th is actually very realistic for the Series X and the Series S to both come out all at the same time. That, of course, would be before several big releases like the new Assassin's Creed, Yakuza, and then, of course, Cyberpunk. The system would come out before then. Having it come out what could even be a week before, since the following week, the following Friday, would be the 13th, I believe. So that would be for, I guess, the PlayStation 5. Both would then get out in the first half of November ahead of some of these big-time releases. And Sony doesn't really need to launch before Yakuza, right? I mean, it could launch in line with Assassin's Creed without too much issue, but Yakuza is not coming to the PlayStation 5 apparently until next year, it seems. Microsoft somehow locked that deal up. But November 5th to the 6th, just keep that in mind right now. It is speculation, technically rumor, but for some reason they decided to register their controller. I don't know if I would have gone that far, since they did work to hide some of that information, as you would expect them to, in the video, and then they just go and basically type it in and send it to Microsoft to see, I guess, what the warranty information is. I wouldn't have thought to go register and just tell Microsoft that I have one of these controllers, but they did. Also, the controller that was shown, you know what, there are some odd things about it, I guess. The D-pad appears to be more clicky than past generation Xbox One controller, because technically, yes, this is a next-gen controller. It's the one that'll be coming with the Series X, and I guess Series S seems a bit more flat on the front. If you look at the Xbox One controller, it's kind of this a couple of sharp lines almost at the top that are obvious to spot in video, whereas this one just seems flat. Like there's no obvious curves at the top. Of course, it has USB Type-C, has lower latency, and even grips on the back and the triggers themselves. But for the most part, these controllers look very similar, almost the same, yes. So I am curious about the form factor, because it does look, it's almost a little smaller, it seems. It's not like old school big Xbox controller, the original, to the S-Type, but it does almost look like the handles are closed in a bit more, and just the overall volume of the controller is a bit smaller. So if it is coming out at the beginning of November, I am expecting a release date and a pricing from Microsoft pretty soon. I think it's going to happen before the end of August, because they will want to give retailers time to take pre-orders and get everything set up, because the beginning, that early in November, would, I mean, it'd basically be in October just about, right? It'd be very close at that point. So yes, we would not be far out at all if they gave us this information at the end of August. We'll be cutting it close. Like, let's say it's the last week of August, they tell us about it. That's less than 2.5 months from reveal for release date, pricing, a new system with the Series S, and then this like 60-day sprint to retail. So it's going to be tough all the way around, I think, and hopefully Sony is ready to go as well, because all of this is coming down to the wire right now. But there we have it. We do at least see the Xbox Series S/X new controller out in the wild now, just kind of floating around. And we'll see what happens from here. I don't know if Microsoft is going to accelerate an announcement because of this. I don't think it's really worth it to them, because while we've already known what this controller was going to look like, we still need to see the Xbox Series S. We're not 100% sure what that looks like. We hear it's like a smaller box than we would expect, which is, I mean, it should be fun to see how they kind of build that out and make it work. But let me know what you guys think about this. Do you think November 5th/6th makes sense for Microsoft? Jump out even ahead of the PlayStation, as I think Sony will launch close to the middle of November and have two systems, one pretty cheap and one a bit more expensive, ready to go. And what do you think about what the controller looks like so far? Thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.